Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Can everybody see the presentation? Makita ang presentation. Okay. Okay, thank you for reacting. Thank you for responding. And we shall start our lesson 2, the coverage for our midterm. And we will talk a lot of things about communication gihapon, since this is the very first consideration and requirement for your general education, no? This will highly relate to your major as well in communication, especially in English communication. And sa content ng lesson 2, we will talk about the local and global communication in multicultural settings. So with regards to the basics of education, you have already an idea because you were presented, no? You were dictated how to be a good communicator, especially how to be a flexible, no? Quote unquote flexible communicator. Unsaan man yun, what are the considerations and so on and so forth. Unsa man ang kailangan nato i-take into consideration. Now in lesson 2, we will learn the differences between local and global communication, especially in multicultural settings. Okay? At the end of the lesson daw, according to the lesson objectives or specific outcomes, you are going to describe the styles in communication considering various multicultural settings, determine varieties and registers of spoken and written language, adopt cultural and intercultural awareness and sensitivity in communicating ideas, and lastly, you were ought to develop a sense of appreciation on the richness and diversity of registers used in written and spoken communication. So those are the things that you are about to learn in this discussion. So please, I encourage everybody to take down notes and do not take the lessons for granted. Okay, let's begin with the first concepts. According to your module, it says here nga naa daw 4 types of communicators, no, according to the matrix presented below or according to the figure presented. Now, if we are about to break this one down, communication styles, this talks about communication styles, no, in various what multicultural contexts. Okay, so according to this very source, we communicate daw accordingly and naa daw upat ka klase-klase nga styles. Unsa naman ning mga styles? Now, as mentioned in lesson 1, each person daw has a unique style of communicating. Need no more explanation. Now that I differences and unique styles when it comes to communicating. Na ay nabilong sa taas, sa low expressiveness, I mean sa high assertiveness, na apoy nabilong sa low assertiveness, na ay sa low expressiveness and high expressiveness. Now, let's break this one down. This one is a matrix, no? This one is a figure, and ma-explain diri akong asa gyud mo or ma-explain diri akong what type of communicator you are. Now, pag mo begin ta sa taas, you will know or see the high assertiveness nga word. I think maklaro ang word, no? Mas kinahayap-hayap siya gamay. Mabasa gihapon siya, no? High assertiveness ka nang nakabutang binhi, and then it is depicting the communicators that are direct and spirited daw. Okay? These types of people, usually, pag mo communicate sila, they just directly tell what they want to tell. Okay? They just explain what they want to explain, and definitely, they have the so-called high assertiveness. Naa daw taas nga mga assertiveness kanina mga tao. Okay? Kung ikaw ni nga tao, then congratulations, you involve little to no emotions pag nag-communicate ka sa tao, no? Prangka ka mo istorya. Direct and at the same time, spirited, na kay assertiveness ba, na kay confidence to speak what you mean. Excuse me. Now, pag mukadto kita sa ubos class, we will find the word low assertiveness. Unsa man ning low assertiveness? This is highly opposite, obviously, because Ang mga tao daw na nabilong din pag mo communicate is are those people rather that asks. Okay? They tend to ask questions and they are defined as systematic and considerate daw. Now, low assertiveness means nga wala dili pud pasabot nga 100% wala na or 0% na ang ilang confidence. Wala na sila confidence. But rather systematic lang yun sila na pagkatao or considerate, no? Pag mo communicate sila, they tend to overthink the thoughts kung makasakit ba sa ilang audience or maka-benefit ba ang ilang audience, no? Systematic sila kaayo sa ilang words, sa content sa ilang words, sa content sa ilang message. Okay? And that is why they ask. And they tend to be low in terms of assertiveness, in terms of their confidence. No, dili kayo sila spirited as opposed to or as it is depicted at the higher part of the matrix. No, direct and spirited opposite kaayo si low assertiveness. Pag si low assertiveness, remember, systematic and considerate. That's why they ask questions. They are considering their audience. Si direct and si spirited, diretso gyud. Basta kay ma-convey ang message, basta kay mapaabot ang input sa ilang audience or sa ilang readers or sa ilang listeners, basta kay makatell sila ng something that is what we call high assertiveness. Okay? Let's move sa sidewards niya. Okay? What do we have here? Now, we have here the low expressiveness ng area sa left side. Okay? These people tend to hide their emotions. Okay? And who are these people? Direct gihapon sila and systematic when it comes to emotions. Okay? And low expressiveness means nga dili kayo sila naga-involve og emotions, no? Dili sila kayo naga-involve sa emotions when they are communicating. That's their style of communicating. And sa pikas pod, they tend to display a lot of emotions, no? This is highly opposite. And high expressiveness ang tawag ana. Okay? They display a lot of emotions, and when you try to talk to these types of people, naagyo yung mga own experiences nga ma-involved sa ilang communication, sa ilang topics, no? Sa ilang ipang istorya, always yun nga naa ilang mga experiences and upheavals sa ilang own message. Okay? High expressiveness ang tawag ana. From the word itself, no, understandable naman. High expressiveness. Excuse me. Now, if you display daw lots of emotions, you will be spirited as a communicator and considerate at the same time. Basta kay mag-display kag emotion, you are considered high expressive ka na pagkatao. Okay? Nabilong ka diri na part. Now, these are the communication style matrix below, or these are the types of or the styles of communication ang ato ma-learn, especially when we encounter lots of people aside from our own families and friends. You will actually appreciate the matrix, no? Kay na atay mga klase-klase na makasalamuha ng mga tao na klase-klase pod mo. Unsa pa ni exercise sa ilang style sa communications. Okay? Now, this is again the communication style matrix. So I want you to take note of this. And by the way, you actually don't have to worry because this unsa pa ni class and this discussion is recorded for documentation purposes. Okay? Now, the model developed by Dr. Eileen M. Russo. Mao ni ang nag-develop sa matrix presented above. Si Dr. Eileen M. Russo. It shows 4 different communication styles at tong upat ka buok akong i-discuss and categorized further into 2 different dimensions and level of assertiveness and level of expressiveness. So, dimensions ang tawag atong level of expressiveness and assertiveness, no? Duha ka klase, it's either assertiveness and expressiveness, mga tong 2 dimensions. And each dimension rather has low and high. Okay? And then the combination of these levels daw result to the basic communication styles. Pag ikaw daw spirited, as I explained, you have high expressiveness and high assertiveness. As I said, makita na nimo din sa matrix, sa figure. Pag direct ka, low expressiveness, and high assertiveness. Okay? And imo daw i-consider pod ang equivalence pag itibo ni sila duha. Okay? Ang spirited equates to high expressiveness plus high assertiveness. Mo express ka what you mean and then with conviction. Okay? Spirited ang dating. Mura kag you sound not so lousy. Let's put it that way. Okay? You sound not so lousy because you are a very spirited communicator. And second one is considerate. Pag ikaw na communicator, considerate daw ka sa imong audience, sa imong content. That equates high expressiveness. Take note ha, that equates high expressiveness plus low assertiveness. Yes, you are considerate, you express emotions, yet you are low in assertiveness. Meaning to say, dili kayo convincing ang imong pagkastorya. Whenever you communicate, you are not very assertive at all because you are very low in assertiveness, and that's being considerate. Okay? And direct naman class, low expressiveness plus high assertiveness. Walay i-express na mga emotions, that is why low expressiveness, little to no emotions, plus high assertiveness. Unsa may matawag nimo sa mga tao nga direct to the point yun mo istorya. Di ba? Prangka kaayo mo istorya. Walay emotions, walay filter, basta kay express nila ang ilang gibate na ikaw na pagkatao is, for example, excuse me for the offensive word, bulok gyud ka nga pagkatao or pangit gyud ka nga pagkatao, no? By the judgment of the communicator, ing anang iyang pagka-assertive, for example. Now, wala siya emotions nga gipakita dito, no? Wala siya, dili siya considerate because he is a direct communicator. Low expressiveness, wala expression sa mga emotions regarding with the emotions, but high in assertiveness. Convicted kaayo ang statement, no? Na ay strong conviction on what he or she is saying. That is a direct communicator. Okay? Systematic, it has low expressiveness and low assertiveness. Wala gyud high sa iya ha. In both expressiveness and assertiveness, low gyud pareho. And that is a systematic communicator. Okay? According to Dr. Russo, here are the tips daw for people with a spirited communication style. If you think that you belong to the spirited style of communicator, or if you are a spirited communicator, in other words, here are the tips daw according to Dr. Russo. So number one is respect decisions and agenda that have been agreed upon, as well as time limits during meetings or any communicative situation. So you have to respect decisions, you have to respect the agreements, no? And as well as time limits during meetings. And number two is you try to limit your sharing of personal anecdotes. Wala kay pake masyado, no? That may take the discussion off topic. Dili na ka mag-include sa imuhang mga personal anecdotes or experience, no? Pag mag-istorya ka sa certain topic, because the topic might go off topic, no? And number three is you have to make sure you are allowing others to contribute their ideas and suggestions, and that you are genuinely listening to them. So in other words, you are not only the person who is talking. Make sure that you allow others to contribute their message as well, their ideas as well, and their suggestions as well. Okay? Number four is be certain that any request you make is clear and that you convey the reason for such request. You are very logical when it comes to communication, no? You do not request any types of emotional involvement, and you are very certain now. You should be very certain that any request you make is clear. You have to make sure that what you say is what you mean. Ingana ang tip nga gihatag ni Dr. Russo. Okay? Communicate, lastly, communicate your appreciation for others' work and input. And this is highly self-explanatory because you should appreciate thou others' work and input, and that is to avoid narcissism sa communication. Okay, that is to avoid being narcissistic, and that is to avoid being egocentric sa communication. And when you are talking within your circle of your friends, formal meeting bana or unsa nang klase nga meeting, basta kay when you communicate, it's not the time, or it's not always the circumstance nga magpaka-Jollibee lang ka. Okay? Communicate your appreciation for others' work and input. Mao nang importante. Okay? You consider others' opinions as well. You make sure nga mabatian pod sila. Okay? You make sure that they are heard. Okay, that is for the tips. Those are the tips for spirited communicators. Okay? And tips naman sa mga considerate na communicators. Kato mga considerate, i-explain na ako to ganina. Number 1 is you recognize daw that other people's opinions about the topic are separate from their opinions about you. Dili pa sabot nga nagstorya sila about something, it's all about you. Okay? Remember that if they have an opinion about something, it's about something. It's not about someone. Okay? Recognize that other people's opinions about a topic are separate from their opinions about you. It's not always about you that they talk about. So don't be too asumera, okay? If you are in a communication. Number 2 is you realize that not everyone is comfortable discussing personal topics with colleagues. You must appreciate and you must understand and realize that not everyone daw is comfortable. Dili tanan komportable sa pag-discuss ng personal topics with colleagues. Like, ang ilang life, dili sila ganahan i-share. Kailangan daw nimo i-appreciate na. Dili sa tanan panahon, kailangan ka mamugos sa ilang personal experience nga i-communicate sa imo because that is not how it works. Okay? And number 3, allow others to open personal matters before asking questions of that nature. Number 4, respect your opinion as you respect that of others. Number 5, recognize that you don't have to be friends with everyone, but you should treat others and be treated professionally. Dili kailangan na ang imong mga kaistorya imo na dayong barkadahon, and it doesn't mean nga friends na mo if nagkasalungat ang inyong ideas, and if nag-oppose ba mo, dili na pasabot pod nga kontra na mo, no? You are adversary. No, it doesn't mean like that. But you should treat others with respect and professionalism. And we have also tips here for the direct communicators. Sa mga direkta pod mga istorya, sa mga prangka diha ng mga tao, make an effort, number 1, make an effort to listen carefully to others. Avoid interrupting. This highly helps. Okay? Number 2, allow time for chatting at the beginning of a meeting. Dili kay maghilom-hilom ka pod ka. Okay? Kay some people would assume nga suplado pod ka kaayo nga pagkatao because you do not even ask questions maskin wala pa mag-start ang meeting, for example, no? Allow chatting. Kanang mag-istorya-istorya lang mo na like mag-istorya mo about outside of the topic, no? Like friendly conversations. You should engage in those types of conversations. Okay? And number 3, recognize that others may also feel the need to express themselves. Again, it's not always about you. Okay? Number 4, recognize that brainstorming can be effective and it's not a waste of time. Number 5, take some time to show your appreciation for others' contributions. Okay? Again, we should appreciate others' works and others' communication style as well, and other content as well. Dili lang it's all about you. Take some time now to show your appreciation to others' contributions. Tips for people with a systematic communication style. So, systematic na communicators, here are the tips for you. Recognize that for good working relationships, consideration for others' feeling is important, as I explained earlier. Okay? Learn to ask qualifying questions that will help you get the information you need. So, dapat mag-ask ka as a systematic communicator, it is not just you that it should be considered that it is not always you who is talking. Okay, learn to ask qualifying questions as well from others, okay, para masabtan pod nimo ang information nga imong gipangita. Okay? Make sure you understand the background of the discussion or scope of the conversation so no time is wasted. Number 4, politely ask other questions about themselves if you want to build rapport. Number 5, if you need to ask for more time to know, analyze, or discuss something, explain the benefit of the information you need to know. Dapat you say also nga you're not afraid to say also nga you need time to analyze or discuss something. Okay? And that is for you to benefit the message and benefit the information that you are needing. Okay? So, these are the tips sa upat ka buok ng mga communicators. Okay? So, I hope that you're still listening there and you are still taking down notes. Okay, let's continue sa let's wait let's have a minute na i-accept sa nato yung mga ibang students. Okay. So again, mo yung mga tips ha. These are the tips for the different kinds of communicators. So, we move forward to varieties and registers of spoken and written language. Unsa may pasabot ani sir? It just means nga naantay klase-klase na mga languages. Dili Filipino ang nag-exist sa kalibutan, dili English language ang nag-exist sa kalibutan, dili Bisaya language, dili Surigao and Cebuano language ang nag-exist, but naay klase-klase na mga lingwahe. Okay? In a multicultural society, people must use culturally appropriate terms, gestures, expressions, and images in any communicative situation. Because we have, again, language varieties and registers of spoken and written language. Whether it be in books, in communication, in spoken communication, spoken language, klase-klase yun ang lingwahe. Okay? So, I have here the I love you map, no? When you say I love you, the word I love you, klase-klase na pagka dictate and klase-klase ang pagkaingon ana sa different countries. Okay? This map shows the various types of languages and how different, no? How is it different for us to understand the differences of languages. Unsa man nato pagsabot sa iban-iban klase-klase and nagkalain-lain na mga iban languages. It is for us not to understand but to appreciate. Okay? So it may took some time for you to understand all languages, but it doesn't take a second for you to appreciate the differences of each language, of all languages, no? So it is called language varieties, no? Language varieties, also called lex. These refer to the different variants of language that can be sufficiently delimited from one another in terms of social, historical, geospatial factors, thus forming language clusters. Klase-klase ang mga kultura, therefore klase-klase po ng ato ang language. Diba? As you have learned sa language and culture and society, dili yun ma-separate si language and culture. Okay? Iban yun na sila na atay Filipino culture and naapod tay Filipino language. Dapat magkaiban yun na sila. One cannot live without the other. Okay? In addition, na ay language varieties also that may also be grouped in the following classifications. Number one is pidgin. Unsa man yung pidgin? It refers to a new language that develops into situations where speakers of different languages need to communicate but do not share a common language. Okay, examples are Chavacano in the Philippines and Bislama, a language spoken in Vanuatu. In other words, class, ang pidgin, this concept, no, is very once upon difficult for me to learn when I was in college. Now, as I read many books na simplify na gyud ang konsepto, finally, that pidgin is the language from other country or other geospatial location nga nagamit or na nag-exist sa lain na sab na place. For example, sa Chavacano na pidgin nato, no? It is one example of pidgin sa Philippines. Chavacano is a combination of Spanish language and Filipino language. It is not fully 100% yun nga Spanish, but rather naalang dito majority of the words are influenced by or are coming from the Spanish language. Okay? So, pidgin ang tawag pag dili pa 100% na-develop ang language. Okay? So, it refers, as defined here, it refers to a new language. Meaning to say, ang Chavacano, pag abot sa Spanish people sa una sa pag-colonize nila, they use the Spanish language, and that is why the language was adopted, no, by the Filipinos, and they try to use the language, pero dili pag yun ka 100% ingana ka 100% polished ang language. That is why it is still a pidgin. Okay? And it is Creole na pod, number 2, or letter B, it is a Creole, no? When it is developed na. 100% developed na daw siya and understandable na daw siya, and it is successfully combined by 2 languages. It is a pidgin daw. It is defined as a pidgin that becomes the first language of the children or mother tongue in a certain community. For example, sa Filipino language, no? We have words, if not majority of the words, that came from Spanish language. Okay? Kanang kutsarita, ventilador, kutsara, no? Kana na mga words, for example, gikan man na siya sa Spanish nga mga words. Gikan man na siya sa Spain. But the moment that we understand those words 100%, nga ang kutsara gyud, utensil yun na siya. Okay? We have this so-called meaning na ma-adopt na to automatically and ma-provide na to automatically. That is Creole. Understandable na siya. Pag mukadto ka sa certain part of the Philippines and where they speak Chavacano language, dili gyud siya masabtan. If Surigao-non ka, okay? Not unless if you learn the language. When you go to a certain place in the Philippines, no? And they speak Chavacano language, a pidgin, dili pa 100% developed, maunay ma-experience nimo ang difficulty ng pagsabot sa language. Okay? Because again, it is not 100% polished or developed. Pag Creole na, maunay na develop na language. Okay? For example, the English language. Okay? The English language. Kanang language mismo nga inyong gisudlan as your major ship, no? And then you will understand the English language is not just a composition of one geospatial historical language. No. Dili yun ang Latin lang ang nag-contribute sa English language. But I have read this book called How English Become English by Simon Horobin. And it says nga, ang English language daw, it is just a very large Creole of many different pidgins. Okay? It is just a very extensive large Creole, meaning to say polished language of many different pidgins. Unsa man to na mga pidgins? Well, ang taga-France, ang French language naka-contribute sa dictionary ng English language, as well as the Greek, as well as the Latin, as well as the Filipino, even Filipino language, no? Naka-contribute kita sa Oxford Dictionary, not to mention the Merriam-Webster Dictionary. And people start using the words that are coming from the Filipino language as well, and that is to prove nga ang English language mao lang na siya ang extensive or large Creole coming from many or various pidgins. Okay? Nasabtan si pidgin and si Creole. React palihog if you are still following to the discussion and if nasabtan si pidgin and si Creole. Okay? Seeing reactions, I appreciate that much. And let us move forward sa letter C, regional dialect. Sa regional dialect class, it is not a language that is not distinct from a national language. Okay? Nganong nakaingon man ang module ani ang source ani na ang regional dialect daw, especially sa Surigao-non or Bisaya nga language, nganong ang language man daw, it is not a language that is not distinct, no? Meaning to say different, no? From a national language, but rather a variety of language of a language spoken in a particular area of a country. Examples are Cebuano, Waray, Ilocano, and Hiligaynon in the Philippines. Nganong dili man siya different, no? Kay we are conditioned to view man daw, people, we are conditioned to view language as different from English language. We often think na English language, porket mao ang ginagamit sa kadaghanan, no? Mao na siya ang superior language. No, it is not 100% the case. Because again, we are here to appreciate language varieties. Okay? We are here to appreciate Cebuano, Waray, Ilocano, Surigao-non, any other languages, any other dialects, because it is still, or those are still, languages. No superior, no inferior, walay lamang, walay nasa baba, but rather they are just different. Okay? It just happens nga klase-klase at ang pagka-pronounce sa isa ka word from that of other place. It just happens nga klase-klase ang spelling and variations of the orthography of the words. But here is the main point nga ang regional dialects dili dapat nato i-look down because it is still a language. Okay? Same sa English language. Means of communication. Unsa may kalainan di ay. Okay? Ang Surigao nun di ay means of communication gihapon. Okay? Basta kay naa lang tay proper settings on how to use those languages or those different languages. Hope you understand. Number or letter D, minority dialect. This is a variety used in or used as a marker of identity, usually alongside standard variety by the members of a particular minority ethnic group. So these are the languages nga naga-dictate lang sa origin ng isa ka group of people or ng isa ka tao, no? Minority dialect. For example, sa mga Badjaus, no? Sinama of the Badjaus in the Philippines and the London Jamaican variety of the thing. Basta kay ma-identify ang ilang cultural ethnic group through the dialect that they are speaking. Okay? Now, sa letter E, indigenized varieties, these are spoken mainly as second languages in former colonies with multicultural or multilingual populations. So these are spoken mainly as second languages now in former colonies with multilingual populations. For example, sa ato akaron, we are known or happen to have two official languages, the English language and Filipino language. Nga naman na siya, because the Filipino languages is indigenized. Okay? These are the spoken mainly as a second language or kanina mga language daw, common as L2. Okay? Unsa may L2 nato, mostly English or Filipino. Okay? So a classic example is Singlish or Singaporean English na po tay Filipino English, no, indigenized nga mga words coming from this country or this place. Okay? Now, point for let's not talk about point for discussion, no. And this is not this is supposed to be an activity, but let's not answer this. Let's just get this point, no. Thank you for not dumping the basura, or thank you for not dumping basura. Sa mga hilig magkonyo, no, na language, what do you think daw are the unique characteristics of this language variety? Okay ba na siya? Basta kay one of the reasons nga nung one of the reasons nga nung maggamit daw mga konyo languages ang mga tao is because they are very capable in using multilingual, no, na mga languages, and they are capable in using Filipino, Bisaya, English, and klase-klase ng mga lingwahe. And they are not limited only to one type of language. Na po isa ka source nga ngano daw magkonyo ang isa ka tao, it's because nga naway-an na siya og mga words. For example, English language daw dapat ang sa isa ka setting nga imong gamiton, pag magtagalog daw ka, it means nga nahutdan na daw ka og English. Okay? So, ikaw mismo ang mag-explain ana kung asa kang reason mo tuo. Okay? So, language registers, unsa maning language registers? These are the context of the discourse, no? Generally, language registers now can be classified as formal, casual, intimate, frozen, and consultative. Now, let us define first the language register. Language register is characterized by the way a speaker uses language differently in different social circumstances. Now, naada tayo language registers nga gitawag. Unsa man day na sila. These are the ways on how we communicate. Okay? Kung depende sa setting, naata sa birthday, naata sa party, naata sa debate, naata sa eskwelahan, naata sa atong barkada, magamit daw taani ng mga registers. Okay? And number 1 is, or letter A is formal. Magamit daw na siya sa formal settings like sa research paper, government documents, business letters, and business presentations. Formal dapat na language imong gamiton. Nga naman, these registers are used in professional, academic, or legal settings where communication is expected to be respectful, of course, uninterrupted, and restrained to specific rules. Dapat grammatical yun, dapat saktong spelling, dapat dili judgemon, dapat formal. Okay, professional ang dating. Because the unsa pa ni situation or the context demands formal communication. For example, sa debate, no, sa klase, I am expecting you to speak the English language since I am ideally assuming English language mo, okay, or English majors mo. And that is why you should be formal and almost all of the time, especially in class, okay? And slang is never used daw sa kanina mga situations or occasions. Slang, kato mga balbal or mga lowest form of language, kato mga straight languages, no? Kato ng mga words, dili dapat daw to siya included. Okay? And you should avoid contractions sa mga yan mga situations. And it says here nga contractions should be rare, but as far as I am concerned, no, you should always avoid contraction, especially sa formal settings or sa formal written or spoken settings. For example, sa word nga I can't bitaw kanang I can't nga word, ayaw na siya i-contract. Contraction means gi-shortcut nimo ang two words. Dapat ibuo na nimo siya. I cannot dapat na siya. Imbes na I don't, dapat I do not. Okay? Sa formal na siya nga setting, sa formal writing and speaking. Second one is casual. These registers are used when communicating with friends, close acquaintances, colleagues, and family members. And these are used in birthday parties or family gatherings. Kana mga casual gatherings ng birthday parties, family gatherings, and so on and the like. Okay? Pwede sa close friends, casual lang ang mga dating nato, na pwede ta mag-curse, but in our formal setting, dili ta pwede mag-curse. Okay? Close acquaintances, colleagues, classmate na nato, pwede ka mo maggamit ng casual language, no? And family members, of course. And these are used in birthday parties and any types of casual events. Okay? Intimate naman, this happened between two people. Sa mga special someone ninyo, whether it be your special friend or special significant other, intimate language daw ang gamiton na kamo lang duha ang nakasabot kay kamo may nag-sweet duha. Okay? Intimate language registers are reserved for special occasions, usually between only two people and often in private, no? Katong mga words yung kamo lang nakaduha. Basta intimate, no? Katong inyong mga call signs, ang inyong mga language nga kamo lang ang maka-understand, no? Intimate ang tawag na, intimate register. So frozen, it refers to historic language that is intended to remain unchanged. Examples are the registers used in the Philippine Constitution and the Holy Bible. Unsay pasabot ani? Ang pasabot ani is that there are those languages nga nag-exist way before sa language na gigamit nato karon, such as the modern English language. There are those English variations na nag-exist way back before, especially katong sa Holy Bible, no? Sa King James Version, nga kapanahonan pa to ni Shakespeare nga mga language or mga words. Okay? Frozen in the sense nga dili na dapat to i-eliminate, dili na dapat to ipawalang bisa. Okay? It just means nga historic to siya nga language that is intended to remain unchanged. Dili na dapat to bag-ohon, pasagdan na to siya because it is part of history. Okay? Examples are the registers used in Philippine Constitution and the Holy Bible. Okay? Consultative or consultative. No, it is used in conversations when people are speaking with someone who has specialized knowledge or is offering advice. This is very common, class. So, pag consultative register gani, it requires a formal and a direct type of language, no? Tone is often respectful, kaya nangayo man ka og advice from the word consultative, no? Tone is often respectful, such as the use of honorifics or courtesy titles. Unsa man pasabot, sir? Sa mga honorifics, katong mga professional na mga tao imong kaistorya, for example, nangayo ka og tambag kang mga Villarama, no? He or she is a highly educated individual and a highly professional individual. Naay involvement sa honorifics kay when it comes to writing his name or her name sa papel, naagyon na siya PhD, dapat, or courtesy titles ang tawag. Okay? And when you talk to her, Tone is often respectful. Pag mga pag-advise how to better your education, no? Often respectful ang tone, but maybe casual. Take note, maybe more casual if the relationship between or among the communicators is friendly. For example, nabarkada na nimo ang atong dean, no? You often hang out with her. You often hang out with her free time sa iyang coffee time, nag-iiban mo, and then the tone mautro. Ang language mautro because time passes by and so on, ma-develop na ang casual or friendly nga conversation. Okay? Examples or registers used in local television broadcast or in conversation with the doctor during medical examination. Na daw times nga casual lang ang ilang conversation and not all the time formal. Okay? That is the idea there. Excuse me. Now, we move forward, class, sa ato ang tips na po, no? Tips on how to improve one's ability in communicating in multicultural setting. So, these are general guidelines lang, no? Kung saan ninyo pag better sa inyong communication, okay? On how to communicate others, especially in a multicultural setting. As we all know, klase-klase ang cultures na nag-exist diri sa kalibutan. Okay? And we happen to encounter not just Surigaonons but other people from other cultures as well. And again, pag lain gani ang kultura, of course, lain po ang language. So here are the tips. Refrain from forming expectations based solely on your culture because knowing and accepting the validity of cultural differences are key in communicating with people, having diverse communication styles. So you should always refrain daw, avoid from forming expectations based solely on your culture. Dili pasabot nga Surigao-non ka, it will go on your own way. Dili pasabot na yung ana. Okay? But rather, being an effective communicator requires allowing yourself to be immersed in the multicultural society and embracing diversity. As we all know, we have various types of cultures and language. So it is not on our own to judge. It is not on our own to base our language and our communication sa ato alang kultura mismo. Because again, we have different types of cultures and language. Okay? Second bullet, remove personal biases. You have to remove personal biases or any stereotype that may impede understanding. Remove the judgment, guys. Okay? When you are communicating with someone, especially pag na ay individual or na ay someone na unsa pa, na ay na-include nga sa circle of friends ninyo, for example, sa inyong magbarkada, na ay nabilong nga Muslim, no? Na ay nabilong nga Badjao, for example. And when you try to communicate with the other individuals, dili na kami communicate because of that reason na ay Badjao or na ay Muslim. We should avoid the prejudice and the judgment and avoid stereotype that may impede understanding, na makaharang sa understanding. That is one of the impediments manggod sa understanding and sa communication. You do not want to be judged by others, right? You do not want people avoiding you just because of how they see how they see other members of your group or culture. Dili dapat ta mag-base sa itsura, dili dapat ta mag-base sa culture because no culture is superior, no culture is inferior, and no language as well is inferior and superior. Okay? Determine how much your family, friends, and colleagues have dictated how you view or feel about other people or other groups and identify which among these prejudgments and stereotypes that can damage relationships. Ultimately, makadamage gid siya sa relationship because mag-una ang judgment. Walay dapat judgment at all because no culture is superior, walay naglabaw, wala say walay madaog-daog, okay? Walay inferior. Okay. Next bullet, you have to make now a personal commitment to develop communication skills. Again, society will not develop if there is no communication. In appropriate multicultural settings, you have to make these promises now. Number one, I will make a commitment to seek information from persons whose cultures are different from my own. So pag mag-seek ka of information, dili ka sa Surigao ka mag-seek or sa mga Surigao nons, di ba? Mag-research pa gani mo. Go beyond pa gani mo sa atong country, no? Especially pag mag-RRL na sa research, for example, pag mag-seek ka og information, you always try to appreciate and involve other languages and other cultures because again, that is one way to better your communication skills. Okay? Second bullet, i-promise dapat daw nimo sa imong kaugalingon, I will try to understand how the experiences of persons from different cultures leads them to develop perspectives that differ from mine. So it's not always you, okay? Learn from the experiences of others. No man is an island. Okay? I will pay attention to the situation and the context when I communicate with persons from different cultures. Same thought. I will make every effort to become a more flexible communicator. Make sure nga you are doing and you are exerting your effort just for you to become a flexible or more flexible communicator. Ayaw pag-settles kung unsa kang communicator karon. You should always aim to develop each day, okay? That is for you to understand other cultures and that is for you to contribute a better part in the society. I will not insist that persons from other cultures should communicate with me on my terms. Porket kaistorya nimo is Korean, dili pasabot nga mag-Surigao-non na ang Korean sa imuha. Ay, ako'y dapat masunod because Surigao-non language is highly superior. My culture is superior. Naaman siya diri, sige mag-adjust. No. It is a matter of appreciation. It is a matter of being flexible. Okay, that has something to do with appreciation and flexibility. Dili ka mag-exist nga porket sa lain na kultura na gikan ng individual, then ikaw na ang masunod. No. Okay? That is not how it works at all. Okay? That is our so those are the topics na part sa atong midterm class, and I guess that I'm hoping rather na nasabtan yun ninyo tanan akong gipangyaw-yaw and you did not take these lessons from for granted kay para man po ni sa inyo ha, especially English majors, no? Dapat inyo ha pong masabtan, inyo ha pong ma-internalize ang mga topics. Okay? And by the way, since the admin allowed us to conduct face-to-face examinations and face-to-face discussions, I will conduct the exam via pen and paper. Okay? Pen and paper na ko para iseryoso gyud ninyo and walay maka-cheat sa frame. Iseryoso ninyo ang topics because as your teacher, as your instructor, I already judged the outcome of this as very informative. I am already making a point as to why important ni sa inyo ka. Okay? So, if you have further questions, please raise them now. And if you do not have any questions about sa klase nato, you do not have any confusions, you do not have any types of concerns, wala na so far. Okay, pag wala na class, you can leave the meeting now. Thank you for coming. Thank you for listening. I hope you learned something this afternoon. Okay? Thank you, class. Goodbye and God bless.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.